All right, I wanted to create a video for students who aren't able to attend on the first day or the first week of class. Either if you're still enrolling or, have some kind of illness, there you go, focus, have some kind of illness or anything like that, I'd like to go over the syllabus and the calendar and things like that. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to share screen. There we go. Slideshow from beginning. All right, so welcome. Thank you so much for furthering your education and taking my class here at Seminole State College or East Central University. I am Jamie Worthley. I'm the shared appointment, which means I teach full-time at both Seminole State and East Central. I'm at Seminole State on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and ECU on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I want to talk about, introduce myself, talk about our goals, our assignments, and assessment for Seminole State. ECU, I don't think we have to worry about assessment this semester, so thankfully. All right, so here's a little bit about me. I'm Professor Jamie Worthley. There's a few pictures of myself. Anyway, so I graduated Seminole State in 2006, I graduated ECU in 2008, and then I went on to UCO and graduated there in 2012. Now, the teaching history is kind of important because the first class that I taught was basic grammar. That was a double zero level, definitely a zero level class in 2009. And then I went on to teach developmental English classes for Seminole State and ECU for 10 years. For 10 years, I taught developmental English until we started doing these lab classes. And so what that means, what that means is that I taught students who really aren't able to write very well. That's what I'm used to teaching. That's what I taught for the first 10 years of my teaching career. I taught developmental English because my master's is in composition and rhetoric. So my master's is in how to teach composition. So I'm able to teach zero level students. So what that means for you as students is that students who write better is actually kind of my downfall a little bit as an instructor. Students who come to class who already, are pretty decent at writing composition, I just tell them, well, go focus on math because you got English. Not really. I'm thinking of ways to better challenge my students who know how to write well, but I'm just better at teaching students who have no idea how to write. I'm very hands-on also. So all right, so here's where I was hired on as a shared appointment. Here's where I graduated East Central. I don't know if I'm in the way there, but here's where I graduated ECU. That's when I went to London with Seminole State. And anyway, all right, here's a little bit about my family. There's my husband, Jason. I have a stepson, Braden. I have a daughter and a son of my own. There's my son just drooling over he was like, hurry up and take the picture, Mom, I want to eat this. And there's my daughter with her little guinea pig Marshmallow. She loves her guinea pigs. But anyway, so here's my little family right here. That's us this summer at an outdoor wedding. Oh. So a little bit about me. I was born in Pauls Valley. I've pretty much always lived in Oklahoma. I had a little spurt in Georgia, a little spurt in California, but I pretty much have always lived in Oklahoma. I mostly grew up in Wynnewood. I went to high school in Payton. So if anyone knows where Payton is, so weight loss surgery 2 years ago now. So about 2 years ago, I had weight loss surgery, lost over 100 pounds. And anyway, so I grew up, why I went to Seminole State College. I grew up very impoverished with drug and alcohol abuse in my home, right? A lot of us know where that's, know how that is. Anyway, so I graduated at the bottom of my high school class. So there's being my high school senior pictures. I looked horrible there. Anyway, so I graduated at the bottom of my high school class. And I never thought that I was college material, I never thought that I was street smart, right? I think of a lot of us maybe can relate to that, I have common sense, but I'm not book smart anyway, right? So I was working at a grocery store in Prague for $6 an hour, and I just knew that I was replaceable, and I wanted to I wanted to do something more with my life, but I didn't know what. And so a lot of my friends were going to Seminole State College. And I thought, that's just a little state college. I can do that. And I started with zero level everything. Right. I started at all zero level classes, stuck to it. 4 years later, I had my 2-year degree. So that's all right. And 4 years later, I had my 2-year degree. And now I started tutoring at Student Support Services, and English instructors would actually walk their students over to Student Support Services to show them to have their students meet me to be their tutor, right? And so I was pretty decent at writing essays. I didn't realize that, but it took my Comp 1 instructor to say, hey, Jamie, you're pretty decent at writing essays. Maybe you should look into this. It really only took one word of encouragement to steer my life in a completely different direction. And so anyway, so I started tutoring, and like I said, teachers would walk their students over. And so once I graduated at ECU, the English chairman at Seminole State, asked me if I wanted to teach my own class. And so, of course, I graduated ECU in December of 2008. And in January of 2009, I stepped into the classroom as an instructor with a bachelor's degree, teaching zero level basic grammar classes. And realized how much I love teaching. And he came up to me later on that semester and says, well, if you want to keep on teaching for us, you have to have a master's degree. And I thought, a master's degree? I was never going to go to college, more or less have a master's degree and teach college, but here I am. And so I like to tell my students that story a little bit to say that you really have no idea where life is going to take you. But, if you quit, you know where it can't take you. And so anyway, so I'd like to encourage my students to just keep on going through those doors that open. Anyway, let's get on to what we're going to do in this class. All right, so we have some goals of Comp 1. I'm not going to read all these to you, except for the headers. We want to analyze rhetorical strategies. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. We want to evaluate diverse texts. We want to apply genre conventions. We want to talk about composing processes like the writing process. We want to demonstrate academic integrity. And we want to do some stuff online also, right? How to go online, right? All this is in your syllabus that is available on Blackboard and Brightspace. So you can open up your syllabi and look at these requirements. Stuff we want to do in composition. All right, so here are your assignments. So your first assignment is a multimedia portfolio. All that means is it's a junk journal. It's a journal that has pictures, that has other stuff to it. We're going to really go into that here in just a moment. And then you're going to start an advertisement analysis. And we're going to turn that analysis into a proposal, and we're going to turn that proposal into an argument, right? So we're going to analyze an advertisement, which just means break it down. And then we're going to create an argument from that same advertisement. Students always ask, can I change my advertisement? No, please don't change your advertisement. Stay with the same advertisement. Even if you don't like it, I'm sorry, make sure you choose one that you do like, because I don't want you to change it from SA1 to SA2. Anyway, so all those assignments have a synthesis worksheet, which is just a worksheet that helps you create ideas for that essay, right? So these worksheets that help you synthesize or put together ideas to help you with your essay. Then there's some attendance and participation. It just means, are you coming to class? Are you participating? Other little small activities that we do in class just fall under attendance and participation. And we have a couple MLA assignments. Now, the very first day we have an MLA, Seminole State students have it's both. Anyway, you have an MLA quiz that's only worth attendance and participation. Later on in the semester, we'll do the MLA assignments that are worth points. All right, so let's get into the multimedia portfolio. I got the title from Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried. It's a book about war themes and war stories, but I stopped doing the book because I have students who are in fact veterans, and I'd like to support their healing, support what they do for us. And so we no longer read the book because it doesn't help those who are, hurting veterans to heal. We're just gonna leave it at that. Anyway, all right, so we have this semester-long multimedia portfolio. I got the title from the things they carry, the things we carry, and they're called junk journals. So what they look like, so what you need, I'm sorry, our scrapbook materials, our junk journal materials, I need to change that, but our junk journal materials, 3-ring binder or a larger, all you need to have is just paper inside of some kind of binder inside of some kind of journal. A 3-pronged notebook is perfectly fine, blank lined or grid paper, any paper you like. Use brown paper sacks if you want, right? That's all you have to provide for this is the journal itself. Everything else is provided for you in the classroom. So pictures, scraps, tags, drawings, of course, your own pictures, but we're gonna talk about how to print those and all that. So don't have to worry about that just yet. So just all you need very soon, as in the second day of class, is your journal. All right. This is kind of what they look like. So here's some junk journal ideas. So we have it right here. We have some smaller pictures. We're going to talk about, okay, how do I print pictures off that small, right? Here's a little drawing. Some, this is just junk. It's called the junk journal because it's junk inside of a journal, here's one a little bit more manly. Here's some tickets, right? Some more tickets, another picture. Anyway, so, and here's the journal entry. All right, so that's what we're going to work on all semester long. These are, of course, handwritten journals. They're not online journals. They're handwritten journals with stuff inside of them. All right, so I want our multimedia portfolios to reflect the physical. I'm right here. Oops, go back. Sorry. First slide. All right, so I'm right here in the middle, but I'm right here in the middle. I want our multimedia portfolios or junk journals to reflect the physical, emotional, and literal things we carry through life. Use short stories to help you understand yourselves better and to build your own junk journals. The purpose of your junk journal is for you to know yourselves better by reflecting on life events, right? This scrapbook, junk journal, whatever you want to call it, reflects on your values, your morals, your thoughts and actions, and what drives those. Right, so we're going to talk a lot more about what do we write in the journal. All right, so the guidelines. Our past should develop our futures. The decisions we have made and experiences we have lived have brought us to where we are now. So for this semester-long assignment, I want students to explore the values, morals, and beliefs they acquired growing up, right? So think of a value that you did not used to have, or a value that has become more important to you. What life experience led to this value changing? How does this change affect you now? Those kind of ideas, but we want actual stories. Right, we want actual stories. The class discussion is centered on the idea of being awake for the moments that define us. So you're not limited to the story topic, but you must reflect on values and morals that you acquired because of these stories, the stories that you write in your journal. As we write these journals, we will discover our other modes of self-expression that help elaborate the story's meaning and cadence, right? All right, so things that we want to do with these guidelines in this junk journal. We want to use multiple technologies effectively to blend media appropriate for a tiered project. So what does that mean? Use multiple technologies. Well, one technology is an app on your phone where you can, it's called the Collage app, where you can make pictures smaller. We'll talk about that, but that's a technology, right? Use multiple technologies. So we want to use an app on our phone. I'll bring my die cutting machine and my die cuts. That's another technology. So we're blending all these different ideas. And a tiered project only means that it has different levels, right? So there's a level of writing, a level of drawing, a level of, different levels. That's all what that means, right? Evaluate, employ, and document supporting stories. That just means we want to write stories, right? We want to expand them. We want to show different ways of exploring those stories. Demonstrate comprehension of a tiered multimedia concept. So that means idea, right? It's an idea that's not just a story. It's an idea that's not just a journal. It's far more than just a journal. Anyway. All right, knowledge building and decision making, right? So what drives our decision? What drives what we know? So that's what we're putting in there. All right, develop ideas, syncing a variety of multimedia techniques and stories. So syncing a variety, which means putting them together, right? We're putting all these ideas together. Maintain focus throughout a longer multimedia and tiered project. And that means that we can focus on it all semester. We can keep growing from it. We can keep doing it. Edit a prose text, which means your story, to increase clarity, coherence, can I understand it, organization, and mechanical proficiency. Now, I want to hone in on organization for just a minute. Organization does not mean from beginning to end, right? This is a linear or lateral, not a linear project. I really get into that, especially with CompI. But our stories don't have to be from the day we're born until now, right? We want to jump around anyway. Follow instructions that lead to self-inspiration with resourcefulness of time. And that just means that I give us an instruction, but I want to see self-inspiration in you. I want to see what you do with this, right? Where you carry it and how well you use your time carrying that. All right. Work well with peers in self-contained areas. That just means you can work well at your desk, right? Work well at your desk. So keep on going. These are the grading scale. We want 10 journal entries that are worth 5 points each, 5 modes of technology. The next page goes into what these are. Forms of expression, intro and conclusion, forms of media, participation and resourcefulness, teamwork, student interest, aesthetic value, cleanliness. Your finished journal is worth 200 points. So this is what these mean. Breaks down to this. All right. Multimedia portfolio focuses on the lateral stories that form our identities. And that just means that our stories jump around. We'll practice ancestral stories, such as stories from our ancestors, our own stories, future hopes and dreams with 10 journal entries, right? So we want at least 10 journal entries. Stories will contain vital expressions of ideas or one-liners. We'll talk a whole lot more about that. You make this sayings poster at the end anyway. So these one-liners where you summarize or pretty much make a thesis statement from your stories. Many will juxtapose multimedia, which are the 5 forms of expressions, such as artwork. So multimedia, those forms of self-expression, they're things like artwork, tuck spaces, poetry, things like that, right? So those are forms of self-expression. A poem is a form of self-expression. Artwork, that's a form of self-expression. So we want 5 of those forms of self-expressions using 5 modes of technology. Modes of technology are things like the collage app that we just talked about, where you make your pictures smaller, the Cricut die cutting machines, the paper guillotine, right? That students will use with at least 5 forms of media. Media means pictures, different papers, stamps, fabric, right? So anyway, we're just putting it all together. We will introduce and conclude the journals at the end of the semester. So make sure we leave room at the beginning for an evaluation conclusion and a synced introduction, right? So we evaluate or we put it all together with the conclusion, and we put it all together also with an introduction. All right, also be graded on aesthetic value, which means how does it look, right? How does it, does it represent you? Did we put it together because it's an assignment, or does it actually represent you? Right, from our chosen themes like shabby chic, sporty, adventure, bohemian, floral, right? You're not limited to these themes, but you must choose a theme before the 2nd week of class. All right, so student interest, use of time or resourcefulness means that you use your time well, teamwork, daily cleanliness, right, anyway, I expect all students to have a finished journal by December 2nd. right? So these are other things that we're going to be graded on. So here we go. Here's some other additional but not required materials. All the materials are provided by me unless there's something else you want to bring in. So multimedia papers, right? I use papers from a dictionary and put papers from a dictionary inside of mine. Art supplies, decorative accessories, pictures, colored pens, dictionary, app, decorative paper, ephemera. Ephemera are things like tags from clothes. They're supposed to be used once and then thrown away. But sometimes, like for instance, I'll keep tags from my children's clothes to put in their scrapbooks to show how they're growing, right? So ephemera could be like a movie ticket, right? You're only supposed to use it once and you're supposed to throw it away. Well, throw it in your journal instead. So that's what ephemera means. It's kind of a cool word. Journaling supplies. I have a lot of this stuff in the classroom. So students are required to journal pretty much weekly. I mean, 10, and it's a 16-week class. So anyway, I don't grade them for grammar, punctuation, spelling, or any other error. I only want to see that you're reflecting on your life and what makes you who you are. Remember that it is worth 200 out of 1,000 points. All right, be creative. We're not going to share these stories with other students. Only you and I will see it. Now, you are more than welcome to share it. If you have something you're proud of, you want to show other students, that's fine. But I don't require us to share these stories that make us who we are, right? They're supposed to be ours. All right, so let's talk about the 2 essays. We have, we have 2 essays and then a proposal. So the first essay is an advertisement analysis. So we focus on, I'm right here in the middle, we focus on structuring a 3-point thesis-driven essay. Sorry. A 3-point thesis-driven essay where we break down or analyze the manipulative techniques commercially used to sell their products, right? That advertisement analysis, we talk about how they use mood to sell their product. They use family to celebrate their, what are just to sell their product, right? So what do they use to sell their products? And that's it. We only analyze how do they sell their products. And then we have a proposal where we start bringing in some journals and start talking, take it a little bit deeper. And we want to turn that into an argument, right? So that's where we compare the characters, themes, plot, ideals to your own experiences while discussing how advertisements manipulate, influence, exploit, or build up our most valued morals sought through growing up, right? So we want to turn an analysis into an argument, and we propose that in the middle of the semester. We do some worksheets to help us do this. We have a worksheet for each essay. So I have 2 worksheets that, where we just use Bloom's taxonomy to help us broaden our ideas. You don't really have to know why or how. Right now, you just have to know that you need to bring some highlighters, right? Bring some highlighters because we definitely use highlighters in my class. And I have a lot of highlighters too. You're more than welcome to use mine. I'll put some hand sanitizer by them. So you are more than welcome to use my highlighters also. All right, focus. There you go. Okay, so attendance and participation, you can't learn if you are not here, even if that means on Zoom when we have to use that. So if we have to use Zoom, then we will, but you need to be here. So throughout the semester, we have multiple in-class assignments and discussions that require attendance. So if you are not present, then you miss these moments, right? Now I have this David Swift quote. We'll go into that here in just a moment. So need to be in class to get these attendance and participation points. And if you can't be in class, you need to be participating online. All right, so ECU, we only see each other on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes less than that. If I have to be gone, if you have to be gone, then we do keep up with a discussion board. So ECU, we will keep up with a discussion board. So I'll walk you through this after the first couple weeks of class. The first couple weeks of class, we just build up our junk journals. And then after that, we're going to keep up with discussion boards and whatnot. So ECU, that's you, not Seminole State, but ECU, we do keep up with an online discussion board. All right, Seminole State. You guys have a textbook, real writing with readings, right? So all bookwork correlates with your essays. You will not have any bookwork that asks questions unrelated to your essays. We do this together in class on mini Fridays. So make sure that Seminole State, you have a book. ECU, you don't have a book. So Seminole State, you do. All right, now we're at the very end. We are on assessment. So ECU students, you don't have to stick around. Seminole State students, y'all guys stick around for this. But to be able to assess the effectiveness of SSC's academic programs, the college sets and later measures goals and standards on 4 levels. You can read all about the assessment, but I just want to go ahead and move on to what is it, right? So this is what we finished doing. Here is a quote. Moments make up your days make up your weeks make up your months make up your years make up your life, but it's not the years that make a life, it's the moments. So read Swift's sayings and write a persuasive essay to a specific target audience of your choice on why and how to live in the moment. This can discuss social media and cell phones, visiting family and friends, watching children grow up, depression and anxiety, the patience you need to reach a goal. Don't panic. These are participation points you're not supposed to do very well. All right, so we're not supposed to do very well. Okay. So that's it. That's Seminole State's assessment. We'll do this in class this first week, and we'll do this in class on Wednesday, actually. Intro presentation, MLA quiz, assessment. Next we do this on Monday and Tuesday. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you go. And this is, again, this is a video for students who can't attend the first day of school, the first week of class. This is what we're doing. So make sure you start that multimedia portfolio. If you don't know what it is, that's okay. Just start getting ideas together. Look up the idea junk journal online. Anyway, that's what we're making in class. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. No. Sharing. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video, and hopefully I'll see everybody tomorrow and Tuesday, but if not, you can use this video.